One of the great successes over the past decade has been a much better understanding, mutual understanding and set of protocols between Department of Defense and USAID on how to respond to natural disasters. And what I've seen in terms of moving from the Indian Ocean tsunami through Haiti, through Fukushima to the Philippines and then Nepal has been an extraordinarily positive set of relationships, mutual knowledge and understanding. We now need to do that for conflict, for fragility upstream. And what I hear a lot from our colleagues at Department of Defense is, yeah, that's a priority, because they have been on the front lines of losing colleagues in wars for the past decade. And I think DoD feels more keenly than probably anybody that we need to come up with different solution sets. There has been a lot of progress over the past decade, even decade and a half. However, I don't think that we yet have a clear shared framework of how interdependent the actions are. So you can have a shared diagnosis, but then the streams of effort continue to be done without enough interaction and understanding of the impact of doing this in one lane has an impact on another lane. And there's still too much of a hierarchy where they're not equally considered as legitimate and necessary. So I think this is starting to change, but there's a lot of work that we have to do still on that. I also believe that, just as somebody who's come from the development world, that there needs to be a greater understanding of how important security is for enabling development when you're coming out of conflict, and how important it is to be thinking about the conflict lens. You can't resort to what has been a predominant development paradigm over the last 20 years, is that we're going to invest in high production zones, because that productivity will be wiped out if we haven't thought about and invested in managing the risks, the risk of natural disaster, the risk of conflict, which takes away years of development gains.